Hi DIYers, Sterling with Alarm Grid here. Today we're going to show you how to program a Honeywell 5816 OD wireless outdoor door and window sensor. This is a great device, as most of the door and window sensors we've shown you so far are designed for indoor use only. This one is perfect for an outdoor application. You can see it's got quite a bigger footprint, and that's because it's got this weatherproof casing, which is NEMA 4X water protection, meaning that outside is not going to damage this unit. You can see it's quite a bit bigger on the inside. You have two different batteries that are required, AA lithium batteries. You have on the inside here a couple things I want to point out. We have a set of screw terminals, okay? So while this device will work as just the device and the magnet, activating if a gate or a shed or a garage, bulkhead door, anything outside that you would want to protect from an opening, that'll work. Also, if you had this out in a shed and you had a window nearby, you could wire contacts into these terminals and route the wiring through. They even have a weatherproof wiring spot. You can pop this out and route wiring through. So just like a regular 5816 indoor sensor, the 5816 OD outdoor sensor can be used in two different ways. It can be used as the wireless switch with the magnet, or it can be used as a simple wireless transmitter wired out to a contact, which would be your external device, which would be triggering this sensor. So to program the device, we need to insert our batteries. You have the positive indication of which side the battery goes, or which orientation you want to mount the batteries. You have your two batteries mounted, and then we have our little weatherproof gasket here and our back plate. And when you hold this down, it holds down the tamper switch. You can see the screw at the top lines up with that hole, and so you basically snap that into place so it's nice and tight. All right, and then we have our back plate as our final installation. Snap that into place, and there's a little screw here that you would tighten to hold the back plate, and then you would mount this. This can be mounted with zip ties, stainless steel zip ties or nylon zip ties. If you want to go to a pole, there's options for screw mounting to a gate or a fence post. So great device to use. Very, very high powered magnet. One of the main advantages of this device is you don't have to have your sensor and your magnet directly together. In fact, you have a larger magnet spacing gap, so that if your gate had a little bit of play to it, slight fluctuations wouldn't cause a full alarm, but if they pulled fully apart, then you would get your alarm. So now that we've gone over exactly how it works, in fact, I just wanted to point one more thing. So 1.9 inches, if you're on a wood mounting frame and gate, you would have 1.9 inches where these could be separated before it would trigger. On a steel installation, you only get 1.4 inches for the magnet spacing gap. Yeah, whereas in an inside sensor, you're normally talking about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch gap. This gives you a much bigger gap. So now that we know how the device works, we're going to show you how to program it. As with any sensor programming, we do security more tools, type in our installer code 4112, and we get to program. From program, we go to zones, and we highlight all the way down until we get our next available zone. Happens to be zone 28, and we click edit. Click into the serial number box, and just like we do with any sensor, we can program the 7-digit serial number, which is displayed on this barcode sticker with the leading alpha. That sticker is also on the inside. I don't want to open it all back up, but it is on the inside as well. Or we have along one side of the device these two little hash marks. This indicates the side the magnet should be on. You can see on this side those little hash marks aren't there. On this side there are. So what we can do to activate the device is put the magnet close and then pull it away. That is activation number 1. So we've opened and closed our gate, close our gate, open our gate, activates and types in automatically the serial number and the proper loop number for this device. When we're using it as a magnet and a transmitter, we want to use loop number 2. If we were wiring out to an external contact, we would want to use loop number 1. And if we had wired it, instead of auto-enrolling it this way, we would have auto-enrolled by activating the external contact, and then it would have chose loop number 1. So it actually auto-detects the proper loop when you're learning it in. We do it one more and third and final time. It locks in all of our zone setting parameters right here, and we can tell the system exactly what this is. So in this case, we have options to select. We're going to choose door. We're going to put this on our backyard gate door. And so what we want to do is zone descriptor 1. Gallery, gate. We have it saying gate, door, and we can select our response type. Because we have neighborhood kids that go into our gate and go, if they throw the ball into our yard and they need to get to our yard, we don't necessarily want the full alarm to activate when this gate sensor is set off, but we have Total Connect service, and therefore, if we make this a general monitor zone type, you can see it auto defaults. Chime is disabled, alarm report is disabled. You cannot turn them back on. That's because we've selected general monitor. As soon as you select back to perimeter, you have those options. But with it set to general monitor, you don't. Supervise, we do want it on. That means that the panel will look for this device, and if it doesn't see it, it will throw up a supervision fault. This general monitor, however, in conjunction with Total Connect remote services, when this gate is activated, we get a text message showing that the gate has been set off or opened. Therefore, if we know it's the kids, we can look outside, no harm, no foul. If we're not at the house, we can call the neighbors and make sure everything's okay. If it's ever, assumed that it could be a real emergency, this text message that the gate was opening could alert us to look at the video camera that's looking at the backyard and see if it's a real alarm event or not. So we want to key it in like this. If you had decided you wanted the alarm to go off, you certainly can make it a perimeter zone type as well. But in this case, we wanted to highlight how general monitor can be used as well. So we save it. We exit to the home screen, and with the magnet close to the sensor, simulating the gate closed, we're going to show you what happens when we open it.
Activity detected. Gate door.
You can see activity detected is a little bit different than a normal door contact chime. Normally when it chimes, it just says gate door and shows you the fault. With this one, it's a unique activation because of the general monitor zone type. And as soon as the gate closes, we're ready to arm again. With the gate open,
activity detected. Gate door.
It gives you the visual indication of what's been opened along with the name of the zone and the zone number. And with a general monitor zone type, one advantage is you can still arm the system. If we were using an internal 5816 on our front door and we had activated the fault, we wouldn't have an option to arm it. However,
Armed away. Exit now.
with an outdoor gate, we don't necessarily want to keep us from arming the system.
Disarmed. Ready to arm. Chime.
You can see that the system has stayed faulted on that zone the whole time, but we were still able to arm and disarm. So that is a designation of the general monitor zone type. Again, the zone type activates the unique activity chime instead of the normal chime, and we can still arm our system. Once the gate closes, everything's ready to arm fully. Even though we could arm it before, we know the gate's been closed. Anyone inside the house knows that everything's good to go. So that is our 5816 OD wireless programming video for the L5200.
Detected. Gate door.
I set it down and separate them. So that's our 5816 OD wireless programming video to our Lynx Touch L5200 panel. We hope you found that to be helpful, and we invite you to subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions on when and where to use a 5816 OD or how to program it to your Lynx Touch L5200, please do email us support@alarmgrid.com.